How to Train Your Dragon. Basically, I don't really have any videos to post on Wednesday until Secret Invasion comes out, and I've been dying to rewatch these movies since I bought them on 4K, and I just love these movies. I just genuinely wanted to rewatch them. So I thought, why not finally talk about these movies? Some of my favorite movies of all time. These are amazing movies. And, sure, I could wait till the live action version that's coming out, sadly, because the flat out truth is that these movies work in animation and they should stay in animation. And I just can't imagine this shit in live action. It would look bad. Anyways, let's talk about how amazing How to Train Your Dragon is. This movie is so good because it's a pretty generic story. Like this movie has the same plot as Iron Giant and Bumblebee, kind of, where it's a boy and its dog story, except or a boy and its creature story kind of thing, where like a kid finds something like a dog or a creature, befriends it, and then they basically their life improves because of the creature or thing. But it feels so original and fresh in that approach, though. I mean, because even Lilo and Stitch was similar to this movie. A lot of movies are like this. One of the things I complained about my Bumblebee review is that that movie was kind of ET, Iron Giant sort of thing, and didn't really offer too much new to it. This does, and because taking that approach is good, but what they do is they make the relationships feel real. Stoic's relationship with his son and why he feels the way he does is real. When you're a kid watching this movie, you hate the dad, right? Because Hiccup is a kid and he's harsh on his kid. But then you watch the movie as an adult and you understand what he's saying when he says they've killed hundreds of us, and and Hiccup's like, they've killed and we've killed thousands of them. But you understand why Stoic does the way he does. He's a man trying to protect his people, especially with the added context of the second movie. You understand Stoic in this movie a lot more, and yeah, it's such a strong, well put together movie. It's beautifully animated, and it's one of the best book adaptations in terms of this movie improves upon the book to the point where even the author agrees that this is better than the books, or at least she doesn't care that this is nothing like her book because it's just that good. There's some really beautiful moments, stunning visuals, and yeah, it's just got some really great writing. There's some cheesy stuff in this movie. Like, I think Astrid in this movie specifically is a little goofy. I'm like, all right. But at the same time, I think that's fine because her relationship with Hiccup in the first movie is cheesy, but in the second one and the third one, feels a lot more believable and natural, and that's great. But in this one, she's she's fine. It's just such a solid movie, and the score to this movie by John Powell is great, and it's just a wonderful story. Toothless is, of course, is cute, as anybody can tell you. What's great about Toothless is they combined the elements of a cat and a dog, and they wrapped them together to make this one really solid design. But yeah, what an incredible movie. And honestly, it still holds up. I mean, the only thing that doesn't hold up about this movie is the animation. I mean, it still looks great in a lot of sequences, but definitely it does look the least good compared to the other ones, and it's still great for its time, but it still definitely looks a little bit dated by today's standards. This is one thing that sucks about CG compared to traditional animation is like there's stuff in this movie that could never be done in 2D, at least the way it's done here. It needs that CGI approach to it. But the other problem is it becomes a lot more dated over time. Like Shrek looks kind of bad. But meanwhile, Little Mermaid from 1989 looks pretty good still. I don't know. It's still a great movie. Doesn't really matter. We'll talk about How to Train Dragon 2 next week.